Hello, welcome to another episode of New Gameplay Today. I'm your host, Jeff Cork, joined today by Joe Juba.
Hello.
Hi, and Alex Stadnick.
Hello, friends.
Guys, what are we looking at?
We're looking at Astro's Playroom on PlayStation 5.
Yeah,
PlayStation
buddy.
5. All right.
I'm going to say that every time we're looking at something on PlayStation 5 going forward. That's not just because it's, like a new console. That's just,
Okay.
That's just the way I say it now.
Okay. I want to add
That's
like
a
an
really
echo
cool
to your
thing.
voice. Yeah.
Nice. So this is installed on every PlayStation 5 console, correct?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be there when you get it. But look, okay, so here's the thing. If you are thinking that this game is just a tutorial for how to use your controller, you should get that thought out of your head because it's more than that.
Really?
Yeah, like it takes, well, without getting into the whole broad thing, like this is essentially it's like a full sequel to Astrobot Rescue Mission, the PSVR platformer.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's a game that takes several hours to finish. It has multiple worlds. When I started up, I was like, it gives you some very basic, like here's how the DualSense controller works. Here's the different features that might be different. So I thought I was really in for something that was a lot more, let me hold your hand through this
Right.
new technology.
sure.
And it's not that. This is a fully fledged, fun little platformer. This is a game.
Okay.
In case you were wondering.
Yeah. And we've got like a master on the sticks. We're looking at your footage here, Alex, correct?
Correct. Jeff, I know you love my speed runs that we usually do, but this
Yes.
one's going to be much quicker. I promise.
Yeah. So what you're doing here, it looks like you're just farting around on the sand. But you're actually manipulating the in-game timer so that later the platforms will be perfectly aligned for maximum speedrunning, correct?
Oh yeah.
right.
I guess I didn't want to give everyone a look at how the
Yeah.
sausage was made, but
Absolutely.
So what we're looking at is this level is called Cooling Springs, and it's like the way the game is structured is it's got different like worlds, and each world has sort of 4 or so stages in it.
Right.
So this is the first section of Cooling Springs, and as you can see from what Alex is doing, it really is just sort of a playground sort of thing.
Yeah.
Just
And
like this section of the game doesn't have any specific like linear platforming challenges. It's more about like, hey, just fart around for a little bit, collect some stuff.
yeah, and they hide puzzle pieces. They hide what they call artifacts in the level that you have to go in and find. I'd really try to get on this surfboard and it just never works.
Oh,
So I
you can
guess-
do it. I did
You
it.
can. Yeah, I did it my first playthrough and I was like, I am not gonna continue this.
God, those first playthroughs are always the best ones, aren't they?
Yes, yeah, most definitely. And we won't go in depth a ton on specifics, but there's a lot of love for PlayStation franchises, and there's some Easter eggs in here that players should look for because
Yep.
it really is a great love letter to fans of PlayStation.
Yeah.
I-
In
Anytime-
fact, oh, go ahead, Jeff.
I was just gonna say real quick, anytime you see like one of the like astrobots pointing a camera at something, take time to look at what is being filmed because it is always some kind of funny PlayStation reference.
Yeah, that's basically the game's cue to tell you that, like, hey, pay attention to something happening over here. Which is, and in fact, if you go back in this footage, right when we landed on the beach, if you look around, you can see a pretty well-known PlayStation character doing his thing.
and his son.
Yes.
Yeah, his little astrobot son.
Yeah. So you said that, Joe, like, I think all three of us have played this now, but like you said from the beginning, this is not just here's how the controller works, but it's more of like a practical application to how the PlayStation, like the DualSense works. What did you guys think of it?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think there are some elements of it that are invariably still going to feel a little gimmicky, right? Like any time that a mechanic in a game is designed solely so you can, like hey, here's some weird thing going on with the triggers or with motion controls or whatever. There's some part of that always feels like is not traditional gameplay. So it can be a little aggravating sometimes.
Right.
But I think the features at least like showcase some of the potential here, I guess is the way to put it. I mean, like, so the stuff that we're looking at right here, when you're holding the controller in your hand, and you're doing the bouncing, you're holding the trigger down and you feel resistance to it. And when you know, the resist and release as you're doing the bounce is it's interesting. It's satisfying for a situation like this. That's not to say I want every game to start using, you know, these same mechanics, but I think it's a cool little showpiece for, you know, what a clever studio can do to make use of those features sometimes.
Yeah, what's been interesting is I think like all of us or people who are interested in PlayStation 5 up to its inevitable release, we've all read about these triggers and how they provide resistance and a little force feedback and that kind of stuff. But like until you actually use it, it's difficult to fully appreciate like the potential there, like to your point.
Yeah, there are still some times, like for me, there was a little bit of a mental hurdle to get over of any time that I was doing a section that had some resistance on the triggers. I had to sort of get over the mental hurdle of like my brain telling me that my controller was broken. Right? Like,
interesting.
Like I'm trying to pull the trigger and it's not going the exact way that I expect it to. And there's that, you know, split second of panic of just like, okay, this isn't working the way it should.
Yeah.
No, it is.
Yeah. For me, I'm someone who really enjoyed when, especially in the early Xbox One days, when when companies were focused on putting that feedback in the triggers. So this is, to me, is that evolution of that. And I agree with Joe. It took me a little bit to get used to, but like half an hour in, I was like, I absolutely loved it.
This was a great moment too, because like the feeling of gliding on the ice, just with the little speaker in the controller and then just the vibration and everything, it feels wonderful.
It really does. Yeah,
the game is really just a great little. Again, it's not just to teach you how to use the controller, but it is a great showpiece for what the controller does differently compared to things that you just couldn't experience on the last gen controllers.
Yeah.
The persistent vibration. It's not just, oh, you got hit and the controller shakes. It's a set, like you feel your footsteps. You feel I mean, like you said, when you're gliding around on the ice, there's just this difference of sensation with it that does a really good job of conveying a sort of, I don't know, tactile presence in the game.
Definitely.
I think it's going to be a really good thing to hand to a spouse or significant other when they say, you spent $500 on what, you absolute idiot, and there aren't many exclusive games quite yet. You say, no, feel this, and then all will be okay.
Yep.
Oh,
I'm hoping.
There's Alex blowing into the controller.
Yes, finally.
So, fun fact, I was very confused at this part because I was playing with my headphones on at this point.
Okay.
And when you're playing with headphones on, you don't actually do the blowing in the controller stuff.
Really?
No, it does that stuff automatically for you.
That's strange.
I think I don't know if it assumes that because you're blowing on the controller that you just don't want to make, or because you're wearing headphones, you don't want to make a bunch of crazy noise or something. So
how do you blow?
Like this.
There you go.
Yes.
I
forgot about your part horse.
Yeah, I blow like Old Man Winter in those old like Looney Tunes cartoons.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And the motion control parts for me didn't quite land in this. I thought maybe it was how I was laying, but it didn't feel as maybe it felt precise. It's just there was a wonkiness to it that I didn't love. But as you can see, it doesn't make you do it the entire time.
Right. Well, you've got a thing against frogs too, right?
Yeah, I'm a big anti-frog guy.
Yeah.
And it does feel better than the PS4 motion control stuff.
My perfect run has come to an end, but that's okay.
That's okay.
Yeah.
It's interesting to think back to like the launch of the PlayStation 3 when players were told, you don't care about Rumble. And then just to like compare that to this and just to see like, oh, actually you do care a lot. It's everything to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, at least there's rumble and there's motion controls. Now you don't have to choose between them. Now they're both all the way up.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I mean, I think the motion control stuff is probably from a gameplay perspective, is still the most frustrating and the weakest part of the. It's so unreliable, and when you're playing a game, you at least I usually want more precision than motion controls usually allow, right?
Definitely.
But again, I think in a game like Astro's Playroom, it's just like the stakes are so low that if it doesn't work exactly right, that's fine.
Yeah.
You know, I would be more frustrated if the stakes in the game were higher. Oh no.
Oh, yeah. There's to Joe's point too. There's a couple of times in this game where it's like you'll have that moment where you fall once, but then you fall all the way down, which is frustrating. But then it's like, oh wait, this is just cute, and I'm having fun, and I'm enjoying the feeling of this controller. So it's not like the end of the world like it is in some other games.
Yeah. And even the parts that are, I mean, I would not say that this is a difficult game.
No.
But the parts that are difficult are mainly difficult because of motion controls.
Yes.
Oh, you're gonna do it.
Yeah, buddy.
Is the Alex we all know and love. I've got trash Alex who came out a little bit ago. No good.
No, I put him
like
back
that
in his
one.
closet. Yeah.
But
Said, "This is your home."
Yep.
you know, one of the things this game reminds me of is, like, Jeff, I know that you like the Lego games.
Yeah.
It's got sort of a similar vibe to those to me, where it's like instead of being focused on Star Wars or Marvel or whatever, though, it's just like it's kind of just focused on PlayStation. It's like a
I
different
love that right there.
It's a different licensee, but for the most part, it's just got a very approachable, fun, charming aesthetic.
Yeah.
Very happily surprised.
Ta-da!
There you go. There's the prize.
Excellent. So this is installed on your PlayStation 5 should you buy one. And you should play it because it's pretty fun.
I
Very
agree.
good time.
Thanks for joining me and sharing this experience with people who watch this video.
You're
And
welcome.
thank you for watching this video, people who watch this video. Gotta go, bye.
Wow, that person was really good at playing that game. Those other people were really good at talking about it, too. If you find yourself saying either of these things, subscribe to Game Informer on YouTube for new episodes of New Gameplay Today every week, covering the hottest new and upcoming releases.